Now, every gambler carries a little story around in their head. Most of them sound about the same. Just one good run, one heater, one stretch where the cards behave and the dice stop laughing at you. But Archie Karras? Archie didn't get a run. He got the run. And I'll tell you up front, this ain't a feel-good story. It's more like something you hear late at night when the room's quiet and somebody wants you to understand what the game can really do to a man. Back in the early 1990s, Archie Karras walked into Las Vegas with $50. Not 50,000, not 500, 50. Now, I don't know about you, but $50 barely gets me through a truck stop these days.
Hey, Brady Mama, what's $20 gonna get me?
And even back then, it wasn't exactly a fortune. But Archie never treated that $50 like money. He treated it like a spark. Archie grew up poor, the kind of poor that teaches you early how unforgiving life can be. When luck showed up, you didn't admire it, you grabbed it. So when Archie landed in Vegas, he went looking for a poker game, found one, ran it up, lost some, then ran it up again. Now, this is where most gambling stories slow down and start talking about discipline, about knowing when to stop. That part never really interested Archie. If the game gave him something, he put it right back on the table. Before long, poker wasn't the only thing paying him. Archie started playing pool, high-stakes pool, the kind where the side bets matter more than the shots themselves, where pride sits right next to the cash. And Archie could play. Money started stacking up, real money, bills. And what he didn't do, and this matters, was treat that money like something fragile. To him, it felt like fuel that could topple Sin City. By the mid-1990s, Archie had worked his way into the biggest cash games in the world. Not tournaments, no trophies, no cameras. Just no-limit cash games, sometimes heads up, against people whose names still make poker players straighten up a little. And Archie didn't blink. Some nights he won millions, other nights he lost millions, and the next day he came back like nothing had happened. That alone unsettled people. Casinos didn't quite know what to make of him. He didn't want comps, didn't care about rooms or perks, he wanted action. Which is funny because casinos spend most of their lives trying to control action. Archie kept asking for more. Then he found the dice. Now, no matter how steady you think you are, craps has a way of humbling folks sooner or later. But Archie didn't approach the dice like the rest of us. He was betting millions on a single roll. One roll. I've watched grown men sweat $20 like it was their rent money. Archie was pushing amounts that made casino managers hover just off the floor. And sometimes, the dice cooperated, and that's when Archie became a true legend of the felt. At the height of it all, Archie Karras had over $40 million. Not tied up somewhere, not spread around, on the table. 40 million. That's the kind of number that stops feeling real pretty fast. It's not something you hold. It's something you stand inside of. People started calling it the run because nobody had ever seen anything like it. $50 to 40 million. If you heard it secondhand, you'd probably shake your head and call it nonsense. But the thing about gambling is the game never closes. And Archie never really stepped away. The losses didn't hit all at once. They rarely do. First, the dice cooled off. Then the cards stopped being friendly. A rough session turned into a bad one. And Archie did what he'd always done. He pressed. He chased. He trusted that the run would come back around. Because when you've been right for that long, it's hard to believe the door's finally shut. Before long, Millions were gone, then tens of millions, and one day there was nothing left. $40 million gone. No big ending, no dramatic exit, just the quiet realization that the table had finally finished with you. Now here's the part people tend to miss. Archie wasn't dumb, and he understood the math better than most, but big numbers didn't mean safety to him. No, it felt like something you loaded and fired. If you watched him long enough, you started to see it. The destination wasn't to win and walk away from the felt. The action on the table was what made him feel alive. Years later, Archie Karras would be arrested for marking cards. Yeah, I know, not the ending folks like, but it tells you something honest. When a man spends his life chasing action, walking away doesn't come naturally. So what is this story, really? A warning? A legend? A tragedy? Probably all three. Because Archie Karras proves something nobody else ever has, that it's possible to win more money gambling than seems reasonable, and still lose the part that matters most. I'll leave you with this. If you ever catch yourself thinking, I'm different, I'll know when to stop. So did Archie. And that's why his story still gets told. Not because he won, but because he never stopped playing. Because in gambling, the lights stay on, the felt stays clean, and the next hand is always waiting, even when the run is long gone.